I own a construction company in Ohio. It's an S Corp. What are your thoughts on setting up an XRP corporate treasury reserve? I don't like XRP held in an S Corp or a C Corp. And the reason for that is if you do get sued, especially if it is a construction company, I don't know if you have your assets held in that construction company, you've separated out the service based business that you do. If you haven't done that, I would highly recommend that. I would have a holding company that owns the assets and a service company that leases the assets from the holding company just to separate a lot of that liability. I don't know if you're a general contractor or a sub or what you do in the construction business. So I'm just giving you some general information here. But would highly recommend you separate the assets of the corporation away from whatever service is being provided just in case there is a lawsuit. So that if somebody does sue you and take the stock in your S Corp, they can choose to liquidate those assets after they've taken control of the company. Not fun. Not fun at all. And that's why we often recommend, always almost, an LLC to hold digital assets because there's equity units. And the reason that we set things up there in Wyoming is there's strong charging order protection, creditor protection there in Wyoming versus some other states like Ohio. An S Corp also limits your ability to be owned by a trust. It has to be owned by an individual. It cannot be owned by another corporation. So, S Corps are great for taxation, but you can take the S Corp election for an LLC and still get that pass through taxation. So I understand why you would do it for your construction company, especially if you have partners or you want to grant equity to people. Stock options is fantastic. An ESOP can be done through a construction company. There's a lot of reasons that you would structure a construction company as an S Corp, but I wouldn't, normally recommend setting up a treasury component to that company just in case, again, if you haven't segregated the liability or potential liability away from the corporation, of getting sued and somebody does take ownership of your stock, they could absolutely liquidate those positions and pay themselves back or take the XRP itself and then give you back the useless stock on the other side of that. So again, I would silo that out